What's up, Bikerumor fans? This is my review of the Canyon Endurace CF SL8 Di2. So all those numbers mean carbon fiber, the SL version, the Model 8, and or I should build spec 8.0, and Di2 means there is an 8.0 with the mechanical Shimano group, and there's the Di2 here with the Ultegra Di2 group. So I've tested the size XL for almost 500 miles now. We did a 3-day trip to the beach on it, tons of riding locally around our hills and everything else, and it's a pretty rad bike for long distance riding that also goes really fast, and I'll show you some of the details why in just a second. But this bike in size XL with the stock tires, not these, comes in at 17.59 pounds or 7.98 kilograms. So it's relatively light, especially considering the price is a very reasonable $39.99. So $3,999 for this bike right here. So let's take a look at some of the details of the frame, a few of the parts that I swapped out and why I swapped them out, and then we'll get into the ride review and wrap it up. As a consumer direct brand, Canyon needs to ensure their bikes arrive in perfect condition, since there's no bike shop there to handle blemishes for you. So it's packed really well, and they need to make sure you have all the right tools to put it together. Each bike ships with a complete owner's package that includes all the little bits and pieces you may need, including pedals, albeit kind of cheap ones, instructions and owner's manuals for every component, including plenty for the bike and frame itself, tubeless valve stems, a torque wrench with socket end, and the various size Allen and torque bits necessary to attach the handlebar, seat post, and front wheel. For Di2 bikes, you'll also find the charger tucked in here. Pull the bike out and you'll find cardboard and foam pieces preventing anything from rubbing against each other. Just attach a few pieces, adjust your cockpit position, and you've got your bike together. As Canyon's Endurance Gran Fondo style bike, the Endurace keeps normal proportions in tubes, but does tuck some nice aerodynamic cues into the shaping. Minimally visible cables enter the head tube, which is slender with a trailing angle on the backside. This likely helps keep it laterally stiff while also helping the air slip off. Frames are electronic or mechanical specific, so you won't find shift cable ports on the Di2 or ETAP frames. The most obvious aero touch is the down tube, which is rounded on the bottom leading edge and nearly flat on the back. The fork legs are narrow and thin, and they lend the front end a comfortable ride quality without giving up steering precision or stability. I really like the reverse curve at the crown too. The through axle dropouts both get custom covers with Canyon's logo. It's a little thing, but this bike is full of those little finishing touches that give it a premium appearance. Out back, there's a beefy derailleur hanger for more precise shifting and better durability. The chainstays aren't super thick, but they do the job. Long distance comfort is the priority with this model, so you'll notice a lack of massively oversized junctions that would make this bike unnecessarily stiff. There's no bulbous bottom bracket section here, and the bottom half of the seat tube is thinner and a bit flatter than the top. All of this combines with very thin seat stays, which keeps the rear end a bit more compliant on all Endurace models. Those end at a stealthy, fully captured seat post clamp that's way better than the wedge-style mechanisms some competitors use, because those can fall down into the frame. This one worked great. Step up to 8.0 level frames and you'll get their carbon leaf spring seat post to really tame the cobbles. It's a clever design that uses two separate halves to flex under your weight, and it works no matter what type of saddlebag you strap to it. Saddle angle is adjusted with a bottom bolt and uses guides to help you register the changes visually, which is good because it doesn't take much movement to have a big impact on saddle angle. The front of the bike gets an alloy stem and bar at this price level, and they're fine. The size XL comes with a 110mm stem, but I swapped it for a 90mm. Check the written review for more notes on Canyon's frame sizing and how to get the right size for you. The other change I made was switching to tubeless. The Endurace CF 8.0 comes with 28mm wide, non-tubeless Continental Grand Prix tires. I swapped to 32mm wide Bontrager R3s to add a bit more comfort and go tubeless. As you can see here, there's still plenty of tire clearance with 32s, but I probably wouldn't go any bigger. Alright, time to ride. Out on the road, the Endurace is sublime. It's the kind of bike you want to ride all day. Once I got the fit dialed, we were off to the beach on a 3-day, 240-mile ride loaded with frame bags. The bike handled the load perfectly, humming along with enough stability I could still ride no-handed when I needed to sit upright and stretch out a bit. I should mention that I love this bike's semi-gloss blue paint, which is somehow simultaneously matte and sparkly. Fortunately, there wasn't a scratch on it from any of the gear once we got home. Back on our local routes, the Endurace continued to impress with its ability to handle big arcs and tighter corners. I expect an endurance road bike to handle the long straight roads well, but when it can also rip the corners without feeling sluggish, that's a nice bonus. And the Endurace does just that. The frame, fork, and seat post felt like the right mix of performance and comfort. It really is a bike I could ride all day, which is basically what we did when we rode from Greensboro to the coast. The only upgrade I'd want to make is a carbon fiber handlebar to further mute the road buzz. Whether it's diving into a corner hot, sprinting out of it to drop the pack, or just plugging along the climbs, the Canyon Endurace is worth checking out if you want a bike that rides well all day long. Hey, thanks a ton for watching. If you like this video, hit like, hit subscribe, ding that little bell so you get notified every time we post a new video. Check out this video right here. I think you're gonna like it. And check for the full review with photos of all the little parts and all the little details and some more tech specs on this bike, head over to bikerumor.com and just search Canyon and you'll find it, or click that link in the description below. Thanks a ton, and we'll see you next time.